Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we are back with another video on the Databricks Certified Data Engineer Professional exam. Let's jump right into it. So this question is very popular in that exam and it tests our understanding of the merge statements in the Delta Lake. So let's jump into the question. What the question says: a junior data engineer on your team has implemented the following block of code. The view new event contains a batch of records with the same schema as events. Delta table. The event ID field serves a unique key for this table. So we have a table where the event ID is the unique key, and a temp view has the same schema but has some different records. So if we look at this syntax here, we are merging into the events, that is the delta table, using the new events temp view, and the event ID is the unique ID on both, on the event.event ID and the view new event.event ID. So when not matched, we are inserting all. So when this query is executed, what happens with the new records that have the same event ID as an existing record? So the following are our five options. So if you can give it a try, you can pause the video here and mention in the comments what do you think is the answer. So you can pause the video here and I will switch to my Databricks account now. So we are back into our Databricks now. So here we see we have the events table. Now what we have is event ID 1, a webinar and some date, and event ID 2 conference and another date. And then we have the new events where event ID 1 is the webinar updated with the updated date, and event ID 3 is a meetup. So the new event has the event ID 1 and the events also has the event ID 1. So if you read the question carefully, this record is in fact the record which the question is talking about, meaning that the record is already present in the event table and also the record is present in the new events table. So let's execute the code, the set of code that the question talks about. If I hit this one, so if we look into this code carefully, we want to merge on the events using the new event view on event.id equals new event.id. When not matched, then we are inserting all. So the meetup will be inserted into the events table, and when matched, it has no condition. So it is not having any condition when it is matched. So if we go now to the events table after merging, let's hit on execute for this. So what we see is the first record as webinar, second record as conference, and third record as meetup. But if we go back to the temp view, what was this first record? It was webinar updated. In fact, the event ID 1 was already present in our table, so it had no impact on the table after merging. So if we go back to our options, we see that this is the correct option. So if in the exam we see this question and the following options, we know what to select. Now let's go back to the Databricks and let me explain further how we, as a best practice, use the merge into statements. Let's go back to the Databricks. Yep. So this is the best practice how to merge into, how to use the merge into statements. So this is our events original table. This is the new events with some updated record. So what we did here is the same. The event.id equals new event.id, but here we have the matching condition as well as not matching condition. The event ID matches the new events ID, so we update the set. And when it is not matched, then we insert the new record instead of the other way which we executed a few moments earlier. So now let me hit on the execute for this part of the code. Yeah, so now the number of rows affected becomes 2 And now if we select all from the events table, it will have the webinar as updated. Now we see that the webinar is updated and the event date is also updated. So this is in fact the very practical case of how we use the merge into statement. So if the new events table contains some data that was pre-existing in the events data and the data was updated based on the event ID, it would have the new updated data. So this is the practical use case of how we use the merge into statements. So this was the fifth video in this series. I will continue to upload more videos related to the Databricks Certified Data Engineer Professional. I will in some near future also update on my exam experience and how I cracked the exam, what resources I used, and how we can easily crack this exam. It's not too difficult. It's just a bit of in-depth knowledge that we require and a bit of hands-on. So I would urge you to use the community edition of the Databricks for some practice to get better to know the UI. And if you like my work, please share this channel, hit like and subscribe to this channel and share it among fellow data and AI enthusiasts. So thank you and see you in the next one.